Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Nicole and this is Letting It Be So. I am back today with another Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe unboxing. So this is April's box. Spoiler alert, this is almost certainly, or at least for the foreseeable future, going to be the last Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe unboxing that I will have on this channel, and stick around to find out why that is. Okay, so I do want to preface this from the outset that what I'm about to say is absolutely not a critique of Fabric Godmother. This is just how I have found having the box, what I hoped to get out of getting the box, and how that's maybe not matched up with the reality of it, which again, not a critique of Fabric Godmother. That's the, I don't want to say the jeopardy, that makes it sound like we're in danger of like falling off a mountain or something, but you know what I mean. The chance that you take when you have a subscription box is that you may not like the pattern or the fabric or anything like that. So, that is something that you have to take on board when you sign up to one of these, that, there's no guarantee that you will like the pattern and fabric, that it'll be your color palette, that it'll be the sort of thing that you like to wear, one thing and another. So yeah, I just want to preface this by saying this is not me saying the Dream Wardrobe box is terrible. I'm just going to talk to you about how maybe it doesn't work for me and my personal taste and style, and what I hoped I would get out. So this month's Dream Wardrobe box, so I have obviously already opened this. That's probably a good thing because I've had time to like think about what I want to say. So it had been kind of like teased on social media that in this month's Dream Wardrobe box we were going to get a brand new Fabric Godmother sewing pattern, and obviously the 3 sewing patterns that they have already released are all dresses and top. So you've got the peony dress, you've got the fleur blouse and dress, and the aspen dress. So all dresses, all woven projects. And when they were teasing pictures, they sort of had the picture of like someone wearing you could see that they were wearing kind of like a white top. So I was like, okay, it's some kind of bottom half garment. So I was thinking maybe a skirt. Fabric Godmother have been sharing lots of fun summer prints that they have been releasing lately, and they're embroidery on glazed fabric as well. So I thought it might be like some kind of skirt or trouser pattern to like perhaps use some of those fabrics, but that is not the case. So the pattern that they've just released is the Calla trousers, which is, I'm going to hold up the pattern. I don't know what you call this, like little card for the pattern. So they are, I guess, what they're calling sort of like an elevated basic of like some tracksuit bottom style trousers, but that are maybe a bit more intended to be worn out and about and smartly, not just for like doing sport and one thing or another. So you can see there, you've got 2 people wearing them, and I know Josie on their video said she was inspired by like the kind of Adidas like 3-stripe like tracksuit bottoms and that kind of aesthetic. So I do have some jogging bottoms, like handmade ones that I have made. They're all like the kind of fitted style. So I've got a couple of pairs of the Stella joggers by Tilly and the Buttons. So they're all that kind of like fitted style with like cuffs and things. So obviously these are like looser fit, slightly wider leg, and you've got the drawstring bit at the waist and some options for like trim down the outside and that. But so they're kind of a different style of tracksuit bottoms to what I have previously sewn. I think from reading stuff on there, the kind of idea is that you could wear these like day to day out and about. That really isn't my thing. I am, and this is an entirely personal feeling about my own personal style, is that I don't feel comfortable wearing tracksuit bottoms of any kind unless I am on the way to or on the way back from doing some kind of sporting or exercise related activity. Like, if I, like, these two ladies look great. Like, I am not, criticizing the aesthetic here. I'm just saying that this aesthetic is not me. I would feel like I had gone out in pajamas if I wore this, because it's just not my personal style. And that's okay, right? That's, everyone has, things that they maybe have some wiggle room on, and other things where they're like, no, this is just not for me. And, that's fine. And that is, again, no critique on Fabric Godmother. It just doesn't match with, the sort of thing that I would ever wear. I would wear this like around the house. Like, I would. I do like to have looser trousers. Obviously, we're kind of coming up to the time where, like, I would probably rather have like linen trousers or one thing or another, because we're gradually getting warmer. I feel like, jogging bottom fabric, I don't know, tends to be that much more thick, and not what you want to be wearing, when it's that bit warmer, even if you are just like lounging around the house. But yeah, I could see like having a pair of these in the winter just for loafing about and relaxing, one thing or another. But I would never ever wear them outside of the house, like I say, unless I was going to a yoga class, say, and I wanted something to wear over the top of like yoga, trousers for some reason, to like cover up, or as another layer to keep me warm. So yeah, that's problem number one with the box, is that I wouldn't ever wear the pattern how it's intended. And I do like, I love sewing with jersey. I love making sweatshirts, things like that. But yeah, when it's something that you're only ever going to be wearing like for slouching around the house, I feel like I'm less motivated to want to sew those kind of things, especially with like the gaps in my wardrobe. Like, I really need stuff that is that bit smarter for wearing outside of the house, and particularly like spring summer stuff. So yeah, it's also kind of not really ticking the box for like what I want from my wardrobe at this point. But I could see myself making these, when it comes to like autumn time, as something, to wear when relaxing around the house. Okay. Problem number 2. And again, this is 100% a me and my personal taste and style thing, is the fabric that they included. It is, I believe it's it's either a Ponte or a French terry. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check, and I will put I can pop the information in the description box as to what it is. Now, everyone has their colours that they gravitate to. Mine is very much dual tone colours, particularly like blue greens, burgundy, pinks, that kind of thing. I'm not really a pastels kind of person, especially, and particularly not things that kind of get towards the like orangey yellow spectrum. Like, those are things that I tend not to gravitate towards if I'm choosing fabric myself. The big sticking point and almost my like ultimate no, absolutely not, when it comes to colours, is bright fire engine scarlet red. Reason number 1, I don't think it looked good on me. As you can see, I have very fair skin, and this is with like, I've got a little bit of like tinted moisturizer on, tinted moisturizer on here. So you're kind of seeing not my, I am a little bit even paler than that, especially at this time of year where it's not, we've not had too much nice weather. That's not to say that I really particularly go brown in the summer either. I slap on the factor 50 and, yeah, I am pale, have fair skin which has kind of like a pink undertone, and I have like mousy dark blonde with these fun grey streaks, which are happening now. Hair colour, I have very basically non-existent eyelashes unless I'm wearing mascara because they're that fair. And I personally, again, this is not to say that someone who might have, almost identical colouring to myself might not feel completely different about how they look in that colour. But for me, I don't like it. I think it overwhelms me. I think I almost feel like I'm wearing like a costume. Like I just don't like how it looks. Like burgundy, or you kind of got that more like pinky toned, that kind of thing. That's about as like red as I get. But yeah, bright scarlet red, I just don't like how it looks on me. Reason number 2, and this is probably going to sound even sillier to many people, is that, as you may know, I've spoken about it on this channel, I'm a big football fan, and my club is Tottenham Hotspur, and our colours are white and navy blue. And the colours of our arch rivals, which is Arsenal Football Club, is red, bright red. So again, I have this like secondary aversion to that kind of bright red colour, where that's the kind of what comes to my mind is like, can't wear red, the red is the colour of our rivals, we don't do red. So yeah, that is reason number 2 why I don't like bright scarlet red. So shall I show you the fabric that turned up in the Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe box? It's like my worst. Yeah, you literally, it's coming up almost a bit lighter on the camera. Like it really is like the colour of a postbox or the colour of a Ferrari. Like it's that red, and that's the exact red that I just don't like on me or do. I just don't. Yeah, I just don't like it on me. And it's lovely fabric. It's got a great weight to it. Like I can see that it will be excellent for these trousers to have that kind of drape and structure, but without being too heavy. But it's just not me. It's just not me. Yeah. So this is the fabric. There's several different instructions in the pattern for like adding like trim, like a stripe trim down the side of the leg. That's not included in the box because that's as Rachel from Stitched Up says, it's not a kit, so you don't get everything that you need to make the pattern that's included. You get the main fabric. But yeah, so yeah, we're kind of, it's not great. But again, I say that as it is not great for me. For someone who really loves this aesthetic, who would wear these kind of tracksuit style trousers out of the house and who likes this colour, I'm sure you'd be very happy with this box. But yeah, it's just, an unfortunate combination of pattern being not my style and the fabric being very much not my colour. That means, this box really isn't for me. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this unboxing. Let's put this fabric. It upsets me to look at it a little bit, just because like it seems so incongruous. Like I just don't have anything this color in my house, and neither do like my family either, because of the football thing. Because I think we're all nuts. But yeah, it just feels wrong. But please forgive the silliness of football fans on that regard. Although saying that, my front door is red, but that's just how it came. So, and I haven't, my priority has not been decorating the front door, and also I don't see that because I only see that when I go in and out. I'm not looking at that all day, so yeah. So yeah, so I have decided, and this is not actually like purely as a result of this one box, and so I've had 3 of the Dream Wardrobe boxes. So I had February's, which was the trench coat, last month's, which was the Paulette blouse with the 2 fabrics, the 2 cotton norm fabrics, the floral print in 2 different sizes, and then this one. The Paulette blouse I really like. I haven't got it sewn up. It's another one that's in the queue after the trench coat is done. The trench coat, I maybe wouldn't quite have picked that exact colour of fabric to make a trench coat, but I did really want to make a trench coat and then have to do well pockets. So it's kind of filled a gap in my wardrobe and something that I wanted to challenge myself with in that regard. So like, I wasn't necessarily unhappy with those 2. But I think in terms of what I associate with Fabric Godmother, I think I've said this in another unboxing as well, it does tend to be their like prints. You know, whenever they put out a new range of prints, it's very rare that there's not at least one of them that I really like. And I was hoping that there would be a bit more of that kind of thing in the boxes. You know, that was what I was hoping to get out of it. You know, so they've just released a brand new collection of like, it's called like Celestial Summer, and there's some really fun fabrics in that. So I was, you know, thinking, oh, why couldn't we have had something with those fabrics? You know, yeah. So I think for me, what I like best about Fabric Godmother is those prints, and if that's what I want, if that's what I really want, then I think that the best thing for me to do is to not subscribe to the Dream Wardrobe box and save that money for when they do bring out these new print collections, so that I can buy some of that fabric, just the fabric. Because, you know, it's not like I am short on sewing patterns or ideas on that front. So yeah, that is what I'm going to do. So I have also been getting the Lamazi Makers Club, and I think their taste and aesthetic with their fabrics just seems to align better with my personal style. So I have been finding that they've been a lot more me. And yeah, when you're spending a reasonable amount of money on something that you've not picked yourself, I think, you know, it's important that if something isn't working for you, like, it's okay to say that and stop subscribing. And yeah, do what does work for you. You know, that's the beauty of there being, you know, there's quite a lot of fabric shops who offer subscription boxes and, you know, have varying takes on a model. You know, I think there's something for everybody, and I think it's okay to try one and then decide, actually, maybe this isn't what I want. And, you know, again, that's no critique on the company that's doing it and their boxes. Like I say, I am sure, you know, this really is the only one where I have been like, I don't like either thing really. You know, but I think, like, collectively, if I think about those boxes, they just haven't fulfilled the need that I wanted them to. So yeah, that's why I've decided to cancel that subscription. It's not to say that I might not pick it up again at some point in the future, who knows. But for the minute, I think the one I'm going to stick with is the Lamazi one. And that's also not to say I might not try another one at some point in the future as well. Obviously I'm trying to balance out like money as well, because, you know, if you're buying ones that are like fabric and pattern, you know, they're a reasonable amount of money. So so yeah, that is where I'm at with the Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe box, and why I have decided to stop subscribing to it for now. I'd be very interested to hear what other people's thoughts are. If you received the box, what do you think of the pattern? Is anyone else like me really not a red person? You know, it's so sad, because if I feel like all that it would have been rescued quite a bit. Like, you know, I love the green pair that this lady has. I also, these are like, I think just navy blue. Like, if if either of these colours had been included as the fabric, I would be like, okay, probably not going to wear these as they're intended. They're going to be for indoors only. But, you know, the fabric colour is something that I vibe with. But that was not the case, unfortunately. But that's just one of those things. But yeah, I would love to know everyone else's thoughts. I don't know what I'm going to do with the fabric, to be honest. I mean, I might make them just to try the pattern, perhaps, with that fabric. But equally, if anyone is interested in the fabric, do drop me a message. It would need to be someone from within the UK. But yeah, if anyone is like, I have to check like the amount of fabric there is there, in terms of what, I'll put that in the description box. But yeah, if anyone would like this fabric, please do drop me a message, because yeah, I'm in sort of two minds of whether it's worth sewing something in a colour that I really don't like, even if it was just to wear around the house. Like I don't know how much I would reach for it even then. So yeah, decisions to be made. So yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this. But yeah, that's where I'm going to wrap things up. I really hope that I have come about this in the way that it's intended, in that it is not not a critique of the box itself and Fabric Godmother, that it is just explaining why it doesn't work for me as an individual human person with their own tastes and wants from a fabric subscription box. And yeah, that is most certainly the spirit in which this is intended, and hopefully someone else might find it useful as well. But thank you so much for watching. Please do consider giving this video a like or subscribing if you want to be joining up and sharing my YouTube channel to everyone else within the sewing community. But I'm going to head off now. I need to go and eat some lunch because I'm filming this on my lunch break from work. So thank you very much everyone for watching, and I'll speak to you all again very soon.